Greetings to all, I am glad to see you. Today we have another selection of stories. If you have not watched the previous videos, then be sure to watch them. You will like them. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This is very important to me. Jimmy is with you as always. Well, we are starting. First story today, from the user Unusual Capital. Let's listen. Throwaway account. My 29 male wife, 29 female, has been having an affair for 2 years, and I have been aware of it pretty much the whole time. We've been together 7 years and married for 5. We don't have kids. I have been work from home since COVID hit. For the last 3+ years, she has been a secretary in a large office building. Now, I'm not going to pretend like we had the perfect marriage 2 years ago, and that I can't believe she would do this. I was totally complacent in my life, and really wasn't putting much effort into our relationship at all. That doesn't excuse what she did, and she had her own issues with intimacy and communication that lead us to where we were then. I just want it clear I'm no saint in all of this. I totally understand we were basically roommates that on rare occasions had sleep. Well, I found out right away when the EA started. I've got all of our everything logged into every device we have, including my work computer. I mean synced email, text, photo, social media. So I was basically reading her affair regularly, including when it became a PA about 4 weeks in. The part that told me this was over, though, was I felt nothing about this. I was totally indifferent, maybe a little embarrassed at worst. When the PA started 2 years ago, I recognized this marriage was dead, and that I should just divorce, mostly because I felt nothing. I started looking into lawyers and figured we could just do this easy and amicably. Well, here's where the crazy part happens. When the EA started, she seemed, I wouldn't say happy, but less sad. Then the weekend after the PA started, I got the shock of my life. She came into my office that Saturday morning and asked me to take her on a hike and picnic. Initially, I thought this is the moment to burst her bubble and reveal what I know, but I didn't. I decided to actually get up and do this. I kind of thought she was going to reveal it herself and ask for divorce. We had a real nice time. It was a great day, and she never brought up anything. I chalked it up as one more good memory before we end this thing. Then she asked me out again that week. Then we had intimacy. I don't know if it was shame or guilt or what, but she was basically taking the initiative to improve our marriage. After that first week, she began to open up more about her feelings. I, for some reason, had a fire lit under me and started to make some effort in our relationship, started reconnecting with some old friends, got all the laundry off the gym equipment. The affair continued. But as we spent more time together over those early weeks, and since it really gave me no concern and everything seemed better, I decided to just forget about it and divorcing her, and just start enjoying my life. I do still love this woman very much. Up until 2 days ago, we were in a really solid place. We had outings every other weekend, date night Thursday, regular intimacy and communication. I don't even read their messages anymore, just occasionally to see if it's still going on. 2 days ago, I noticed she was having frequent and long conversations with one of her close friends. I asked my wife about it, and it turns out this friend's husband got caught having an affair. My wife has been comforting her. This would not have been a big deal, but my wife then started bashing the husband for cheating. I don't know why I said it, but it came out, "You're one to judge." She got super defensive and pressing me for why I said that. I initially tried to apologize and move on, but she wasn't letting up, and I eventually spilled. I've known about her affair the whole time. She tried to play dumb, which annoyed me, so I started citing specifics. She then got really mad at me, started crying, accusing me of not caring about her. I got pissed, then started yelling at her. Because I'm not the one having an affair. It got heated, we went to separate rooms and slept it off. Yesterday morning, she got up extra early and went to work before I got up. I tuned back into their messages, and she had broken up with AP. He was messaging her constantly on every app, and she just kept blocking him. She came home early yesterday. I went to talk to her, and she stopped me, looked at me, and asked how I could let this go on. I replied, "Because I just didn't care." She then called me a huge asshole and locked herself in our bedroom until she left for work this morning. She got home tonight, said nothing to me, and locked herself in again. I can't even imagine in what bizarro world I could possibly be the asshole in this situation. Is there a perspective out there where I am? If so, please share it with me, because in my mind, there isn't. Author edited this story. EA means emotional affair, PA means physical affair, AP means affair partner, already did in an update, but I apologize for the acronyms. Hopefully this helps. Author update this story. First off, I appreciate everyone's comments on the original post. Except those of you that just get on and throw insults. You need therapy more than anyone on this whole sub. If you missed the original post, you can see it in my profile. I decided against showing the post or any comments. Instead, I used it to organize my thoughts and points. Our conversations I'm going to share below in no way were linear. We jumped around in topic, talking this, which led to that, only to come back to this. Reveal that. And so on. So, I'm gonna just try and put it all together as coherently as possible. Like I said in a comment on the other post, my wife finally came out at around 12:30 a.m. Friday and joined me on the couch in my office. She curled in next to me and just cried for a solid 15 to 20 minutes, and we were just silent otherwise. When she was ready, we began talking until we were worn out. We picked that up again last night, which was also taxing. We finally finished up, for now, this morning. This includes long spells of crying, hysterical bonding, and a phone call to AP while I icened. He was aware. The start of the affair was pretty cliché. Flirty small talk makes her feel good. Escalates, becomes messaging and sharing personal details, and eventually to kissing. Probably don't need to explain the rest of the escalation from there. We talked a lot about what got her to that point. She remembers it seemed like nothing she did could get my attention. I agreed with this completely. I also stated, though, that I don't remember too many attempts. She acknowledged that she wasn't very forthcoming in those days. Always hinting at what she wanted, and not just outright saying it. There wasn't any one moment she said that broke the camel's back, just a collection of times. When AP came into the picture, the validation was intoxicating, especially in contrast to years of neglect. However, she said she felt a ton of guilt and shame. She was in the same spot I was when it started, assuming we would just divorce as we were largely just roommates at that point. The hike and picnic were supposed to be the last bit of assurance that our marriage was over. She did not expect me to agree to go, or for it to be such a pleasant time. From that point, we started reconnecting, and she made the decision to make the effort as long as I kept making the effort. She opened up more, and I was responding. That got us to where we've been the last 2 years. As to why she didn't end it with AP once I was back. She admitted she was just being selfish, kept telling herself she would, but didn't actually want to. I was planning dates, listening, and back to initiating intimacy often. He doted on her and validated her. She had the best of everything. Eventually, she just convinced herself what I didn't know didn't hurt me. This makes her feel unwise now, knowing I knew the whole time. We talked about my surveillance, and she said she is having trouble getting over this and feels betrayed. I didn't give her any excuses. It came up because she did ask how I knew, and I told her she's been logged into our old desktop or my work computer on her email, Insta, Facebook for years, as well as it being connected to our cloud. I owned up to how wrong this was, but we both agreed that if we are going to make the reconciliation work, we're going to have to forgive each other for a lot of things. As many said, and we're right about, my "I don't care" statement was extremely triggering and hurtful. It took her right back to where we used to be. I took advice and organized my thoughts and told her that it wasn't that I don't care. I care about her immensely and changed for the better these last 2 years because I wanted to be there for her. I then explained, I should have said, "It doesn't bother me." She's still trying to wrap her head around this. I'm trying to explain how I just basically don't feel jealousy or insecurity, which is hard to put into words. It also causes a mix of emotions on her end. I told her that having her be happy again made everything worth it for me. Also, the affair got me off for the first time in years, so in a way I've kind of told myself it was a blessing these past years. Finally, to address the breakup with AP. She said once it was out, she went into a doom spiral, thinking everything in her life was a sham. She felt guilty over everything. She cut him loose and locked me out. She was basically beating herself up for being awful to both of us. Listening to her call with him was hard even for me. From what she's told me in our conversations, and the call, I'm pretty convinced he was or is in love with her. I think he was holding out hope we would divorce at some point. She laid it out for him that we would not, and we're going to do everything to make this marriage work. He didn't beg or degrade himself, but seemed genuinely hurt. When the call ended, she reblocked him and stated she has to go NC so he can heal and actually go find someone, and we can fix our issues. We are working out our plans to fix our marriage, not totally sure where to go from here. She wants individual counseling for herself, so we will make that happen. After she has done that for a while, we will probably start marriage counseling. We are also going to symbolically fresh start, and I'm getting a new work computer. From there, it's being open and honest with each other every day, and making sure we are being present in our lives. I love this woman very much, and want to make this work. Now to address some of the other questions. Sorry to all the poly or E&M people. We did not discuss this. She never called herself anything other than a cheater or unfaithful. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to bring this up right now. So if this is ever discussed, it'll be down the road. I've never been tested for autism or depression or anything really. I've always been stoic and was raised that men don't show emotion, only when appropriate. I seriously doubt I have any underlying undiagnosed mental health issue. I've never been much of feelings person. But I'm good in a social scene and understand societal norms. Some people just don't feel as deeply as everyone else seems to. Don't know if this is the update everyone wanted, but it's where we are at today. Might be somewhere totally different tomorrow. Right now, all I can do is take it a day at a time. I'm including an acronym guide now because of the 100 comments complaining about it in the first post. AP affair partner, NC no contact, E&M ethical non-monogamy. Author add the additional information. I'm going to offer some clarification since the main hang-up, aside from the incels obsessed with the word cuck, is that my wife said she felt betrayed. The reality of our conversations is that they are 90% her self-deprecating and begging for forgiveness, talking through her affair, the triggers, the whys, the feelings, and 10% us talking about the parts I played, the surveillance, my universal apathy or indifference. Honestly, it's like pulling teeth to get her to open up about how my actions made her feel. And I understand why the response is, it's just one of the faults of Reddit communication. I'm here, having these conversations in real time. Everyone else is reading a 10-paragraph summary, which is going to make things seem equal or one-sided. I understand when responding, you only have the issue in front of you, but try to realize there is more than just what's typed. What I think about this story, I think in a way it's the wife reflecting the way she felt about herself on other people. I agree, it's completely hypocritical, but also very human. Let's check the user's comments and author answers. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this dump? In all seriousness though, ESH. You should have just pulled the plug. You should have put more effort into the marriage in the first place. She should have pulled the plug before cheating. But she sounds like that woman that got mad because her husband doesn't get jealous. Jealousy is not a desirable trait. It's toxic and does not prove how much they love you. I didn't even think of that. I expected her to get defensive when it all came out, and honestly, I thought she would break down and beg for forgiveness. I didn't expect this. So your idea about her valuing jealousy might be right. If I can get her to talk to me, I'll probably bring this up. Also, she must have known everything was synced on all your devices. It kind of seems like she wanted you to know about the affair. Was she doing it just to provoke you? Like, did she have the affair to get you to notice her? Lots have said that. It's a possibility. I know I wasn't present in our lives when it started, so it may have just been to feel seen. I don't know about the devices. She really just uses her phone, and I use my phone and the tablet and the computer. I could see her knowing they are synced, but also not really thinking about them being synced, if that makes sense. Kind of like how everyone knows milk goes bad, but don't realize it has gone bad until they take the lid off. Thanks to everyone who watched to the end. Do not forget to write comments. I will read them all. See you in the next part. Bye-bye, everyone.